Hi there, welcome to Mina. Today we're going to take you through the survey map drawing feature of our app. So starting from the home screen, we're going to push the button on the right hand side. Now, before we begin, I'm going to quickly take you through the menu toolbar on the left hand side, which incidentally you can move by grabbing hold of the turquoise section and dragging it to a different area on the page. Right, going through the menu from top to bottom, we have at the top the selection tool, followed by line drawing, the icon library, Google Maps, text box insertion, copy and paste, undo and redo, delete, and finally layers. Okay, so to start our drawing we're going to go into Google Maps and create our workspace. So Google Maps has used GPS to find us here, but we're going to go into the search bar and we're going to look for somewhere specific. So I'm going to start typing in scan probe, and there you go, it's found us and filled in the rest for us. Equally you can type in an address or a postcode. Okay, so it's found us here. I'm now going to zoom in on our area and rotate it because I'm creating my workspace here. This will be where I want to perform my drawing. So now I'm happy with that area. I'm going to hit capture and use. What that means is now this is the focus point of our survey, so no matter what happens to this map, the focus point will not change. Okay, so first thing to do now is go into the icons library and I'm going to look for the manhole icon. There we go. So you'll notice that the manhole icon has a yellow outline around it. That means that any gestures I perform on the tablet at this time will be dictated to this icon itself. So I'm now going to use the pinch function to resize it and make it smaller. One thing to note here is that I don't actually need to be on top of the icon itself to perform this. I can be anywhere on the screen, be as wide as I like. As long as I'm making the pinching motion, it will resize the icon accordingly. However, you'll notice from this that the drawing's already looking to get a little bit small. So before we continue, I'm going to go to the top right hand corner and you'll see there's a magnifying glass with a plus sign. I'm going to hit that a few times, and therefore I've now made my workspace a lot easier to work with. Now I'm going to be placing a few more of these icons, so rather than go back into the icon library, reselect the icon and resize it, I'm going to copy what I already have. So I'm going to use the copy and paste function. As I've got it selected, just got to hit that, and there we have a copy. You'll notice in the bottom corner we've now got a helpful hint on how to draw lines between icons. We're going to come to that later on, so for now I'm going to skip that and carry on moving my manhole icons. So I'm going to put a couple more here. So as I copied, hit it once for copy, hit it once for paste. Once copy, once for paste. There we go. So I have my manholes in place. Now it's time to put in my road gullies. So back into the icons library, and I'm going to scroll back up, and I've got my road gullies here. So much the same before, we're going to rotate, bring it down, and now rotate it accordingly, and copy and paste. There we go. So we've got all our icons in place. The next thing to do here is to add the pipelines in, so up to the line drawing section. Now you'll notice we have a few options here on top of lines. It's automatically selected the straight line with the arrow on the end, other options being the dotted line and a solid line with no arrows. The arrow is very useful for dictating the flow of the pipe. There are other ways of doing this, and I'll show you one of those in a moment. The stroke width, again, that can be used for a couple of reasons. Firstly, it could be used if the map you're using is not quite so clear. It's a good way of making sure your pipelines stand out. Alternatively, it could be a case of the pipes you're surveying, you've got a different variety of width in the pipe themselves, so it's a way of showing which ones are the bigger pipelines in your survey. So these are going to be for my pipes between the manholes, so I'm going to make that size 3. Now, stroke colour, again, that could be for a couple of reasons. One could be to make it stand out on a background which isn't quite so clear. Equally, it could be to denote the type of material flowing through the pipe, so fresh water, wastewater, gas, you name it. In this situation I'm going to go with black, and there's an insert button there, so if you want you can insert the line and then resize it as you would do with the icons. But as that helpful hint was showing us, there's another way to easily snap between the icons. So I'm going to click back onto my map, I'm going to zoom in just to make life easy to work around. And now, because we've chosen the line with the arrow on the end, it's very important to make sure that the end point is where you want the arrow to be. So you're going to double tap on the start point, single tap on the end, and there you have your line. And so continue that to complete our manhole line survey here. Okay, now we're going to put the lines in between the gullies to the manhole. So once again, going to double tap on the start and a single tap on the finish. But as I'm looking at that, I'm thinking that's not quite so clear. It's making it a bit confusing if someone wants to look at this survey without any other detail. So I'm going to change that line. As it's already highlighted, I'll go back into the line section, and I want to make it dotted, and I want to make it red. And you'll notice that it's made those changes to the line we've got highlighted already, so you can carry on. And with the other lines you put, the design's already saved in for you. There we go. Now we've drawn our survey in, we've drawn our pipelines in. The next thing to do is to use the real purpose of mina, which is to add that extra bit of clarity to your survey. So this is either for your colleagues or your customers, so they can see exactly where you've been. They understand from looking at your survey what you mean and where you've been and where any problems might be. So we use the text function now, and you've got two options with the text function. It's black or white, and that is quite frankly to make sure that your text can be seen in whatever background you're placing it. In this case, black text will be absolutely fine, so we're going to insert a text box. It's a small text box, so it hasn't got to be long paragraphs. So I'm going to type in MH1. So for manhole 1, and then you can resize that as you would do your icons, and also copy and paste as you would do your icons. And quite simply, it's changing the last number. It's all very simple. And there we go. In a matter of minutes, you've made a nice survey drawing, which is nice and simple, very easy to do, very easy to read. So tie this in along with your survey report, and you can't have any confusion as to exactly what work has been done and where any works need to be done. So I'm happy with this drawing. This drawing is now finished as far as I'm concerned. So in the top right hand corner is the export button. It looks like the arrow coming out of a box, and I click on that. And now that's my drawing finalised. Nothing else can happen to this drawing at this stage. Should I need to add something else in, I can always click the done button in the top left hand corner and go back in and add it in. But for now we're happy, so I'm going to go export once more. And now you've got the option to export it to any apps you have that will take an exported file. Equally, on the bottom line, you can save it, send it straight to a printer, save it to the files on your device, or you can send it to your MaxProbe. And here's the very easy instructions on how to send it to your MaxProbe. And the benefits of this would be that you can now, once you've got your survey on your MaxProbe,